Hello, hello. Okay, I think I sorted the audio issue out. It's always something. Always freaking something. Hello, hello. Okay. I think I sorted the audio issue out. All right, I hear myself. That means we're good. We're good to go. Hi, guys. It has been a while since I've gone live on air, and in fact, I needed a little extra light because it's looking a little dark. And I tried to turn my ring light on, and it started smoking and popping. So that's fun. And I don't want to rush too much into it, but I do have someone here, Gene, and let me bring him on the camera. Hold on one second. I gotta get back into my streaming mode. Oh, we got a double. We got a double. Look at us. Oh, no. Now you guys can see it. Hi, Gene.
How are you doing?
All right, like I said, you witnessed the popping and smoking and the panicking backstage.
Yeah, you know what? I so feel your pain from the years that I've done shows and had to do it live and things like that. It is so weird being on the other side of it and watching someone else freak out.
I know.
And I'm just sitting back here going, okay, whatever.
It's kind of awkward because you're like, okay, well, what do I do? Can I help in any way? Like, what's happening?
Oh, I know. It's such a helpless feeling on this side of it.
Exactly. Well, okay, so let me see. I haven't streamed in a while, and it's like I want to okay, gonna get back into it.
Tell everybody where you've been. First and foremost.
I don't even know where I've been. Where have I been? I've been, I don't know, just cooking and cleaning for Jack. That's about it.
Okay, so you know what? I can get behind the whole blame Jack thing.
Okay.
That my go-to is to always blame somebody else, but I'm with it.
Okay.
Jack's fault. It's all Jack's fault.
But I've been trying to get back into it, and especially I have this lovely office to stream in, so it's want to take advantage of it and do it. And a lot of people have been asking where these streams are, where the art history is, so I'm excited to bring it back. So that's right, people, we're coming back. But it's always easy to come back when you have people that you want to interview. It kind of forced me to get back out there because Gene is a friend of ours. And I want to let people kind of know who you are a little bit, and then people will get familiar because I have an Indiegogo. We got people in the chat, and they all know what Indiegogo is about. So then we can give you a pitch and get excited about what you're doing. It's not a comic book, though, people. It's not a comic book, but this is also really exciting. But I don't know. We got an Esquire. How do you describe yourself?
Sure. So for those who don't know me, hi, my name is Gene Beradelli. I'm an attorney from New York City. Who has since left New York City to the greener pastures of Long Island. I've been involved in politics and a whole bunch of other ventures, podcasting, video blogging, things like that. And basically, I'm a nobody. I go to work. I practice law. I'm a civil litigator, so that basically means I do trial work and things like that. And on the side, I try to be a little kooky and talk some politics and kind of laugh at the absurdity of our national discourse, really. I'm really just a guy in the back row throwing spitballs at everybody.
Well, yeah, that's why I was excited to have you on, too, because, you have your own show, which is kind of related to the book you're doing about political buffoonery, and you really are you're so good on camera. You're funny.
Oh, stop.
No,
this
you
face? No way.
No, trust me, it's good. It's good. I get more hate and trolls than you do, so don't worry about it. You're good.
Well, that's because you're a million times more well known than I am. Okay, you have been killing it for years doing this.
Yeah, I mean, I wish things would grow, but I guess you got to be steady. I got to get back to streaming and just be regular, be steady, and get out there. But no, you're really funny, and that's what I think translates with this book. And I'll put your video up on screen in a little bit. We'll do it a few times, but yeah.
Don't worry about it. That's fine. I'm like I said, I'm happy to be talking to somebody that's not 10 years old right now, so I'm good.
Martina, the link is wrong for the Indiegogo on your description. People clicking.
Oh, okay. Let me change that. Sorry. It's just when I start a new stream, it's all these different things you have to change, and for some reason it loads up all your last stream details.
Mm-hmm.
God, it's so annoying. So let me edit now.
Don't worry about it. And while you're editing, I can tell you guys a little bit about the book.
Yes.
I mean, it's not that big of a deal. It's called I love the title. Schnooks, Crooks, Liars, and Scoundrels, a field guide to identifying political buffoons. Basically, it's a book that is the product of like a decade of conversations with me and my friends just shooting the breeze about politics. And all of us collectively wondering, how did these idiots get in the positions they're in? And we kind of came up with our own classification system of how to chart these buffoons, how to measure them, how to compare them to each other. And I took it kind of a step further, going back into American history to see, has this always been that way? And not to blow not to spoil the book, but yeah, it's been like this for a while too. It's just that we're noticing it more with a lot of new technology. But it's a fun little read, and it's going to be coming out in the fall. And I'm really having trouble vamping right now to tell you anything more because I really don't like talking about me. It makes this whole thing even harder than it is.
That's
I'm usually
okay.
the guy talking about somebody else and pumping them up on a show that I do.
That's okay.
It used to be actually a syndicated radio show that was syndicated in the Philly market and down in like the Florida-Georgia line area called Behind Enemy Lines,
Oh, cool.
which was a political talk show. And I would always have guests on, whether it be politicians, pundits, prognosticators, whatever the case may be. And I would be the one, like Martina right now, freaking out in front of everybody. Watch, oh my God, I got to put this in. I got to do this. I got to do that. And it's so weird being on the other end of this.
Yeah.
It's freaky.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's another credit to yours. You had a radio show, or had a radio show, you said?
Had it,
Yeah,
yes.
had it. Yeah.
About 3 or 4 years ago, I had a show. That's how I ended up meeting the guy in the back over there that's off camera.
Right.
And, we had some wild times and some good times and weathered through a lot of bad times together and came out on the other end like this. So,
All right.
for everybody watching the stream right now wondering why this guy's here, just blame Jack.
Just blame Jack. That's the theme for
that's
today.
The theme of the night.
Yeah,
That's the theme of the night,
yeah.
for sure.
Well, I have your campaign up on the screen right now, and again, the video is incredible. We'll get to it, but in very much Gene fashion, he puts, okay, so here's the deal. Schnooks, Crooks, Liars, and Scoundrels, a field guide to political buffoonery, is a satirical look at the absurdity that has overtaken our political discourse and what we each can do to combat it, which I think is important because a lot of people like to complain about politics and complain, but there's not a lot of people kind of offering that next step, which is, I don't know if you could call it a solution, but, just something else beyond complaining. And I also like that it's kind of, I know it's satirical, but it's also kind of educational. It's not just like, let's complain. It's, Let's look at history. Let's look at what has gone on in political history. Let's analyze it a little bit, and let's kind of see where we can go from there.
Oh, absolutely. For us to go forward in any venture, we have to realize where we are and how we got here.
Right.
And the book really tries to frame that from both a historical perspective and a current events perspective. Sort of like, this is where we were, this is where we are. How do we get to where we want to get to? Sort of is like the conclusion of the whole thing. The problem with the book is, the problem that I identified is us. It's you, it's me, it's everybody that allowed these people to get into office to begin with. Right. And it's kind of a hard lesson to learn when you are the root cause of your own problem. Oh, my Brooklyn's coming out. You are the root cause of your own problem. And, there has to be it's almost like that 12-step program. You have to recognize the problem before you can solve the problem.
Right.
And it's hard to do when the problem's you.
Yeah. No, for sure. Let me get back to what this is about. Have you ever listened to a politician speaking about something or other and thought to yourself, man, what an idiot. How did we this is the best we got. I was going to say, how did we get them into office?
Oh,
same thing.
When we were at the election night party in 2016, a lot of the talk was indeed like pro-Trump and all that stuff. I understand that. But a lot of the discussion was, these were the two best candidates that we could muster.
Right. Yes.
And, a lot of the discussion around the country was, seriously, after months of vetting, this is what we came up with. If that isn't that's kind of what inspired the book. I mean, there's lots of good things that came out of the Trump presidency. There's also a lot of bad. I'm not a Trump rah-rah guy.
Right.
But there is, the vetting process we put forth to find these people is really the product of years prior to that of letting these people rise to prominence, knowing that they're really just very dumb people.
Yeah, and even in, like, Congress and stuff like that, it's just, like, you see some of these people that are up there, and you're like, what?
Yeah, exactly. And they're on both sides of the aisle.
Yeah.
I mean, how many, facepalm moments have we had with politicians? Just saying the wrong thing, doing the wrong thing, whatever faux pas it may be, or even something more serious of, breaking the law and things like that. And the cycle keeps perpetuating itself. I mean, look at what happened just recently in what I like to call my home state, the People's Republic of New York. We just had another executive resign in disgrace. It wasn't a governor this time. It was a lieutenant governor. But think back to when the last time people in New York voted someone out of office from the governor's mansion. You know when that was? It was freaking Mario Cuomo. That was the last governor to be unelected, okay? To be taken out of office by electing someone else. Everyone else either chose not to run because there was some sort of scandal going on, or got, kicked out of office in disgrace. We're looking right at you, Andrew Cuomo, and others. But seriously, this election coming up is the next chance to kind of break that streak. Will it happen? I don't know. But it goes back to the laziness of people. We're so used to comfort, and we're so used to just letting business as usual roll along that we don't stop and recognize when there's a real problem in government, and we haven't. Hopefully now we're starting, now we're seeing some real strife and real problems. Maybe we'll see that. I don't know. Right.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just looking at the chat. Just want to say hi to everybody, and thank you so much for coming in. We got a lot of really great people from the Discord. We got Kami Mark, hey, Mr. Pulp Noir, hello. Bryonic, hi, nice to see everybody. Dan, nice to see you again. And Daniel, Romano, Chase, hello everybody. Gigadeath, is that how you say it? How you say your name? I never know.
Is it Giga or Giga? I don't
Gigadeath? I don't know. Maybe that's showing my age. I don't really know things about, like, Giga. Like Giga sounds like technological.
Is that the GIF and GIF debate happening all over?
That's like me. I always say both. I never really know how to say GIF. I don't know. And then we have Lorimer. Hi, Lorimer. Nice to see you. He says, well, at least they got the N-Train shooter today. And I see you and your comment. Yes. And it makes me think, wow, Lorimer, wow, because that was the train we used to take. That was our train line. That was the train stop. I would get off to get on the express line. So scary stuff, yeah. The city, and this is what we're talking about, with New York. We're both New Yorkers. We're both familiar with our New York politicians and governors and all that stuff, and the decades that we've seen the New York City and how it's changed. I mean, we've seen it change for the good. I personally think Giuliani changed it for the good. It got really cleaned up, and during my height of living in the city for, under 20 years, because it was like the 2000s, and I wouldn't say a full 20, maybe 20 years, it was pretty good. 15 years was great. I felt safe, never had any issues. And now I'm kind of scared to go on the subway now.
I mean, we had a good run, right? And now it's, the other end of that run. No, in all seriousness, there's been a lot of decisions made because we had such good times. Yeah. That people thought that these problems were permanently solved. Mm-hmm. And so when a more progressive leadership came in after Mike Bloomberg left, and I wouldn't call Bloomberg conservative by any stretch of the imagination, but he was definitely more conservative than, let's say, Bill de Blasio. And I think that's a fair statement to say. We saw that the inheritance of good times by a weak leader led to bad times. Yeah. And it's sort of that idea of the fourth turning that seems to be in vogue these days. How, strong men make good times and good times make weak men, et cetera, et cetera. We kind of saw that firsthand with New York City, and with good times came idle hands in government. There really is, inheriting a good government allowed de Blasio to sort of experiment with all the pet projects that he wanted for the progressive left. Yeah. So that ended up really ruining the quality of life for a lot of people in New York City. And honestly, the most hard-hit people in New York City right now are the people that de Blasio was intending, presumably, to help. Right. The quality of life was lost by a lot of people in tougher neighborhoods.
Yeah.
In minority communities, in marginalized communities.
And with people that need to take the subway, It's like, these are not posh people that are, like, look who has to deal with this. But yeah, I mean, remember Stop and Frisk, that actually really did prevent a lot of these, I can't recall a shooting or something like this extreme at all in the subway when they were Stop and Frisk. But what they wanted, like what you're saying, it created an opportunity for, like, let's say, like, leftist people that took control of the city to kind of pander to, oh, look at how virtue signaling I am. I'm ending Stop and Frisk because it's racist. Like, they were able to experiment, like you say, with taking things away and kind of pandering a bit, and then it led to what we have today. So did it help?
Taking away $1 billion from the police budget.
Right.
To go elsewhere. Like giving your wife an $850 million budget to do something or other to improve government, and then not accounting for where that money is. Listen, things like Stop and Frisk may have been a little too heavy-handed.
Sure.
I have no problem saying that. I think police officers being accountable to the people is a good thing. I also think that, the police often get, maligned for no good reason. There has to be a balance, like everything else in life. Life is balanced. You have to be able to balance rights and responsibilities. You have to balance safety and liberty. Those are things, and it's always a delicate balance to do. So while I cannot blame everything on, progressivism, there was a definite yearning in New York City for leadership that was lost from Bloomberg. You may not have liked what Bloomberg was doing. You may not have liked what Rudy Giuliani did, with the exception of maybe 9/11 or whatever the case may be. But there was leadership from the top down that was reliable and that you always knew what the course would be. With de Blasio, there was no leadership. The man was waking up late and going to work late, or he'd go to the gym and miss meetings, or he'd be saying that he's going to be somewhere and then not show up. That trickled down. That sort of mentality trickled down to his people.
Right.
And that's why a lot of government services and responsibilities really suffered, and people lost out on a lot of what New York City used to be.
Yeah. Okay, I mean, I figure we kind of warmed everybody up a little bit. We had like 38 people
wow, look at all of them in there.
Yeah, so I think we got a lot of people in here. We've introduced you a little bit. We're chit-chatting. We're talking politics. We got New York politics. So we're going to get back to this campaign and kind of nitpick and go through everything. I think it'll be a great conversation just to go through your campaign, because look at us how we're just like flowing with it. But now that we've warmed everybody, lubed them up a little bit, I figure let's show them the video.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Let's show them the video, and we'll be right back. So check out his video.
Hey there, my name is Gene Beradelli. I want to tell you all about this great book I just wrote. It's entitled Schnooks, Crooks, Liars and Scoundrels, a field guide to identifying political buffoons.
Ain't nothing changed, nothing new here to see. This ain't nothing but some political maneuvering. America! Welcome to the eulogy, eat it up. It's called political buffoonery.
Have you ever listened to a politician speaking about something or other and thought to yourself, man, what an idiot? Like, this is the best we got? Well, the short answer is, yeah, because you, me, all of us, we let it happen. We were duped, either unwittingly or willingly, by a political buffoon. Through my experiences as an attorney, political columnist, and as an award-winning podcaster, I developed this
totally made up pseudoscience that I like to call buffoonology, which we'll use to learn what makes different kinds of political buffoons tick. We'll examine some pretty interesting real-life examples of political buffoonery that I found in both American history and in today's political current events, in the hope that maybe someday in the distant future we can stop the next would-be crop of dummies from taking office.
Ain't nothing changed, nothing new here to see. This ain't nothing but some political maneuvering. America, welcome to the eulogy, eat it up. It's called political buffoonery.
My book is the culmination of over a decade of political conversations between me and an awesome group of friends from a time when we were all actively involved in local politics in New York City. Our shared observations all led to ask, what is it about politics that attracts some of the weirdest, wackiest, and the dumbest people? So in a way, my book is a love letter to a moment in time we all shared that I don't ever want to forget. This book is perfect for anyone who has an opinion about today's politics. And these days, who doesn't? This book is for anyone for whom sarcasm is a second language. It's for people who want to understand how we as a nation got where we're at with the leadership we have. Or for anyone interested in the quirky history of America, the stuff that you didn't learn in high school, but if you had learned it in high school, you would have liked history a little more. Those people. But most importantly, my book is for anyone who thinks that we take ourselves way too seriously, and that sometimes you just need to revel in the absurdity of it all. So what do you think, folks? Have I written the book that's finally going to change the world? Probably not. But all of you together, you can change my world. Let's get this book published. And from there, who knows? I'm Gene Beradelli. I wrote a book.
Okay, I think... Hey, thanks. All right, well, isn't that so clever and cute? Such a great video, Gene. I've definitely seen Indiegogo campaigns that look like PowerPoint presentations and like misspellings and everything. So it is really clever. It's a good job.
Thank you. I did have some help from my publisher, New Degree Press.
Oh, cool.
But a lot of it was put together by me. Like the captions you see and the little thing at the end is them. Everything else is me, including finding that great song, by the way, from a rapper from Florida. His name is Conshens. That's Conshhnz. Find him on YouTube as well. He's a great guy. He lets me use his song for the work that I do.
That is awesome.
And yeah, it's fantastic.
So was that song exclusively made for you, or you found that song and it fit? Because you use the word buffoon a lot.
I found the song and it fit. The name of the song is called Political Buffoonery Part 1. I've been dying to see what he does for Part 2. But it came out during like 2018 or so. 2019, somewhere around there. And a lot of the lyrics are now outdated, but it was a great commentary on the 2020 election in the run-up to it. So shout out to Conshens, man. He is a good dude, and the beat's just banging. I love it.
It is. Like, when Jack and I were watching it, we were like, this song, like, it's so amazing.
I don't know. I stumbled onto it. I was doing a search for, like, I was looking to see, is anybody else out there talking about political buffoonery? And it just showed up.
And it's a rap song. That's amazing. Shit.
It's great. Definitely check. I'm going to see if I can link it in the chat and send it to everybody.
Yeah.
It's a really great song. Like I said, it's a little dated, but it's a great song.
It's always fun to see stuff like that. And that's kind of what your book is about, too, is to kind of see a little time travel through political history. So that song kind of fits as well. But yeah, I have your campaign up here, and I don't know. I'm not really good at hustling so much. I mean, the reason my campaign,
as you can see,
the reason my campaign did well is because I got on other platforms that were super big. But I'm gonna try my best to be like, hey, support Gene's book, get it now. Support.
Well, let me tell everybody what you can get with the book, and I'm going to do this just for your audience.
Great.
And I'm gonna send you something in the Skype chat we got going on. So you guys know how Indiegogo works, right? You get a perk for every like level of donation you have or whatever. Now, one of the perks I have that if you sign up for the book perk by getting a signed copy of the book, is you also have an opportunity to get like a poster that was made up. The book is not only written by me, but there's going to be illustrations in there featuring my friend, who's a great cartoonist. His name is Johnny Panisi. Johnny is mainly a sports artist. He does a lot of work for the Baseball Writers Association of America, and he's done other illustrations for other works. Tremendously talented artist. And he gave me a lot of caricatures to use in the book that are going to go in the book, but they're also going to be featured in a poster. So what I'm going to do is, if anybody signs up for the book tonight from your audience, what I'll do is I'll give you guys one of the posters for free. Don't click the after perk to spend the extra money for the poster. I'll give it to your audience for free. And listen, it's a nice little 11 by 17 inch poster. It'll look great in an office or in a man cave or a space you want. I literally designed it 2 days ago.
Okay.
So you're gonna be the first to see it.
Awesome.
And I have to, let me see. Here's the chat.
Okay.
I think I can upload files to it, right? Let me see if I can do that.
Ooh. God, wait.
I'm going to see if I can do that on my screen right now.
Yes, I think you can upload
files.
files.
I don't know how successful I'm going to be, but I will do my best here. But in the meantime, the book here features some great artwork from Johnny, who is absolutely tremendous. And let me see if I can drag it in. I dragged it in, and I just put it into your chat so you can take a look at it. It's a lot of great caricatures of the modern buffoons that were going to be featured in the book. So think about the usual suspects of people who are just dumb in politics, and you'll probably see them in the poster as well.
Did you put it in the Skype chat?
I put it in the Skype chat.
I don't think it's sent.
Do I have to send it?
Yeah, I think you have to press send.
Oh, what am I doing here? Oh, crap. Dang it. Here we go. Buttons. They're hard, guys.
All right, I got it. Let me figure out how to get it on the screen real quick. Oh, God, between the two of us, I swear to God.
Listen, this is what happens when you get some non-millennials on screen.
I know, like, let's stream. Oh, God. I'm like...
If you can share it, great. If not, what I can do
is
I can put it on Twitter or something like that if you want.
I can do it. I saved it to my desktop. Now, what I'm going to do is...
You can do it. I believe in you.
Thank you. What I'm going to do is drag it from the desktop and put it into this browser that we have up.
Yep, right now I see on screen is the Indiegogo, just so you know.
And it should do the trick here.
Yeah, comments in... Yeah, thanks, Psychotic Cognition. LOL, boomers. Thanks a lot. Not a boomer, okay? How dare you? How very dare you?
We're not that old yet. Jeez.
How very dare you? I still have some good years to go, all right?
Yeah, no, this is cool, actually. Yeah, I was wondering if it was going to be like what you have on the campaign. Oh, God, look at that. We got... what's her face? Crazy lady. They're all crazy. Buffoons.
Crazy lady. Take your pick.
Yeah. I mean, wait, who's this one?
That's Maxine Waters.
Oh, no. Oh, sorry. I think it's a little delayed. This guy with the wings.
Oh, Michael Avenatti.
Oh, that is. Okay. I knew it looked familiar.
Yes. He actually did an interview, and he
naked.
compared himself to Icarus.
Oh, that's... I knew... I was going to say Icarus wings. Like, what's happening here? I see.
He called himself a modern-day Icarus for his stupendous rise and perpetual fall right after.
He's naked.
And oh my God, what a fall! and by the way, as you can see, all the buffoons have a made-up scientific name. So to perpetuate the idea, the satire of the whole book is...
Oh my God, they have a Latin name. I love it.
This is a pseudoscience. So if it's a pseudoscience, you gotta have scientific names.
True.
So that's where we came up with the idea of these different classifications.
Can you read this one?
So
Buffoonicus.
Is that Avenatti on the screen?
Yeah.
Still? So that's Buffoonicus ambitious. So he's more like the egotist. He lets his ego drive him to take more and more risks because he can do it.
Yeah.
So that's sort of a nutshell version of that. But yeah, all the different classifications of buffoons are there.
And then wait, which one's this one? The black guy?
Oh, that is Congressman Hank Johnson. Buffonicus supercilious. No joke. Hank Johnson was in a congressional hearing with the Army Corps of Engineers. Mm-hmm. And he was questioning the Army Corps of Engineers about a deployment and growth of a military base on Guam. And legit question, he asked the Army Corps of Engineers, will this increase in infrastructure cause the island of Guam to capsize?
Wow.
Like, literally tip over like a ship.
I mean, again, this is beyond, like, presidents and stuff like that. Like, this is what I mean. We got people, the House of Representatives, Congress, like, all sorts of stuff, Senate, like, just a bunch of, I guess I can't say retards nowadays.
Well, you just did. All right. No, no, but the problem is there's a lot of it's hubris. It's the classic condition of hubris. All these people have overconfidence in their abilities and are underskilled, and that's where it sort of comes from. The fact that they don't have these skills means that they have to overcompensate with other skills that they do have, like portraying a self-image that is different than what they actually are. It could be, or compensating in other ways, being more defensive in their mentality, or and it leads to this lack of self-awareness, using emotion instead of logic to fuel their arguments. In the case of some others, using their goal as like the end point, and getting to that goal through any number of contortions of reason and logic in order to reach it, giving up their own personal credibility in order to achieve something, which then makes it easier the next time you have to achieve a goal. You can just give up your own personal credibility, your morals, your values, and what you believe in for expediency. There's so many different variations on this idea of buffoonery. We've expanded the definition of the word for political buffoonery, because normally a buffoon you think of, a fool, a jester, things like that. But here it goes from the, oh, bless your heart type of politician with their overconfidence and, lack of ability, to radioactive, people who take themselves down and others along with them. Mm-hmm. I see you scrolling through all the posters throughout the poster. The art is fantastic.
No, it really is. It really is.
This was done. Johnny got this done in the space of like 2.5 weeks. It was tremendous.
They look so accurately like their picture. The caricatures are amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. I was floored by every single one of them. I gave him all these crazy ideas, and he brought them to life, and I can't thank him enough for it. He's absolutely the best guy in the world, and I really one of the things I'm committed to doing after this book is out is I want to get his work out into the public, because Johnny's been the type of guy that his work has been mainly based in sports, like I said, but he's been more of a commission artist than anything else. He's been he worked a lot with Yankee great Phil Rizzuto. Mm-hmm. And did a lot of art for different projects and charities and things like that. Like I said, he designed the cover of the Baseball Writers Association of America dinner every year. So while he's known in his industry, I think that his work is so damn good, we got to get it out to everyone. He recently just started doing more political stuff, and I want to make sure that it gets out there. But Johnny's introduced me to this whole world of cartoonists and artists that worked for DC Comics, that worked for Marvel Comics, and all of them have the same thing in common, how their work isn't really been given its due. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm sort of committing myself to working with him and with his friends to see, how can we have new technologies support these artists, possibly through NFTs or, some other, releases and things like that. So that could be a possibility later down the road, but for now, I just want to make sure that everybody knows who these guys are, especially Johnny, and can enjoy their work.
Yeah, no, that's exactly kind of what I'm about, which is why I like this crossover that I have you on, because most of the stuff I focus on is art. I mean, I happen to be unfortunately involved in politics scene, but really it's the arts that is my expertise. So this kind of perfectly marries the two, and my audience is the same way. So.
But you know what? Art and culture is what is going to save the world from politics.
Exactly.
Okay? And who was it? Andrew Breitbart that said politics is downstream from culture.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We need to start making more culture, and this is my very, very small contribution to that, because I am not talented. I am not so artistic. My realm is logic and reasoning. It's kind of how I make my money as a litigator. So when I can find these projects that create creative outlets, I love it, because I never get to be creative. My life is so freaking boring.
Right? Yeah, it's fun being creative.
I need this sort of enrichment in it. So anything I can do to help out in that respect and utilize my talents that way.
I can't with these guys. I can't with these guys on the balance beam.
Oh, that's
this
great.
This is hilarious.
So, there's a story behind this. Okay. So that's Lindsey Graham, Republican. And it's Jerry Nadler, Democrat. The whole reason that they're my agenda gymnasts, or, Buffoonicus contortius, is because they literally flip-flopped on the issue of impeachment based upon who the target of impeachment was. So back in 1998, when Bill Clinton was being impeached, you had Lindsey Graham being sort of one of the impeachment managers. He was then in Congress, talking about that we need to cleanse the office of the presidency. And you had Jerry Nadler saying, you can't, take out a duly elected president who won the electoral vote and all that. Fast forward now to 2018, 2019, 2020, they switched their exact arguments. Now it's Lindsey Graham saying, well, you can't take out a president that won in 2016. He is the duly elected president. And then you have Jerry Nadler saying the integrity of the office is at stake here, and we have to cleanse the presidency of this menace. Literally the same argument, just different targets.
Right. And that's what they tend to do a lot, politicians.
Absolutely, especially the buffoons. So that's why Johnny put him on a balance beam, although it looks like Jerry is a little bit bigger like me and might be tipping the scales a little bit.
That's hilarious. I love the arabesque that Graham is doing with that face. It's funny.
Perfect form, too.
Yeah.
Because he knows what he's doing as far as contorting his way around government. He's been in there long enough.
Okay, so what we tend to do on the other campaigns is just keep an eye on your campaign. And Jack says,
wait. Are we giving people homework to actually contribute while we're on air? That's a lot of pressure for them.
Homework?
It feels like it's a lot of pressure to say, we're putting you on the spot right now. You must give us your money.
No, I know, and it feels awkward, but I don't know how to sell myself.
I'll say this right now. It went up $200 from the last time I looked.
Okay, yeah, so I'm going to refresh this page. Let me see. We got $26.51.
Well, now it's $28.51. Just from being on with you. This is freaking amazing. I can't believe it. Thank you guys so much.
Great.
Now, do people want me to shout them out by name? Or
not on your Indiegogo, but if they are in the chat, you can just.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know if I want to out them if they want to say that they did it or not.
But yeah, $28.51.
It appears to be one person that put in $200, which is absolutely amazing.
That is amazing.
Which means they're getting 5 copies of the book. It makes a great Christmas gift, everybody.
Yeah.
So it'll be out in September, which means you'll have plenty of time to do it. You know what? I'll wait till afterwards because I have an email, and I will be personally thanking the person. Again, I don't want to out anybody's checkbook, or I don't want to put anybody on the spot. But that's absolutely amazing. And you know what?
Generous.
For every book, if you want me to send a poster with every single book that was there, we'll have a conversation off air, and we'll definitely do that. That was amazing. Good night, folks. I'll see you later.
Well, I am going to just real quickly look at the chat because I think there's a few super chats.
I will join you. So if you see me looking down at my phone, please forgive me.
Maybe explain how the Indiegogo works.
Hold on. I have a sneeze coming. Jack, do you want to be part of the show? Jack, do you want to co-host? Is this what's happening?
No, I'm just saying.
Jack is trying to co-host the show. He's managing. He's producing.
I'm the Wizard of Oz.
I do see a super chat for you to read. So.
Well, earlier we had Fuck Google 2, who is a reoccurring fella. Hello, nice to see you again. Man, I wish I had that light. I feel like the smoking of the light was just like a one-off thing.
By the way, can I just shout out
yes.
Jay Williams and Chase Lonergan? They came onto my show when I did it.
That's right.
And they got to watch me be sloppy drunk on stream because we were doing a drink-along of the State of the Union.
Oh, yeah.
And I kept calling Chase by the wrong name.
What were you calling him?
And that's all my bad.
Colin or something.
Connor, because that was the name stuck in my head, who was one of my nephew's best friends. And I got stuck in my head and I got put on a loop.
That is so
my
funny.
bad.
That is so funny.
I hope you forgive me for that. But we had a great time doing that. Jack came on later, later on in the night when I was just a mess, an absolute mess. But
that's always
probably
fun.
One of the best things I did. So I used to do like podcasting and video stuff to build up name recognition and all the dreams in politics that I had.
Right
now, I come and go as I please. We'll do a show when we feel like it, and it's more just for us and our state of mind. So we call it shock therapy because we're going to be a little more shocking than we used to be, and it's therapy for us.
That's awesome.
And it's a good time, and they got to see that firsthand.
Yeah, I
we'll be
feel
doing more of that in the future, but I wanted to concentrate on getting the book out. So
cool. Yeah, well, keep me posted on that while, I'll promote it and all that stuff.
Oh,
and because it's fun to have like a little community. Now Chase and Jay. It's like it's happening. You're part of it, Gene. You're part of it, Gene.
Oh my God, it's happening.
But yeah, fuck Google too. Hello. Thank you for the $2. He's always in here. It's great, and it's a hilarious name. Fuck Google too.
I wholeheartedly agree with the sentiment.
Well, Martina, someone in the chat says something about highbrow publications like Vanity Fair going down the crapper. Maybe ask Gene about Vanity Fair.
I have an issue with Vanity Fair myself.
Oh, well, you should share story.
Okay, well, before we do that, we have Douglas Nelson. Hello, Douglas. He says, Martina's videos on art are the only shows about art worth watching these days. Thank you so much. Yeah, we go through the proper art history, like, text, and then we, like, have commentary on it. So it's really fun to do that instead of just, like, I don't know. Even art history has turned into some lefty bullshit. But, yeah, I guess Gene has an issue with Vanity Fair. I do. They wrote about me. Screw them. They bastards. Hit piece.
Oh, God. So Jack has opened up a whole can of worms. And we might as well get into it.
My co-host.
So the way I met Jack was through going to CPAC, the Conservative Political Action Conference. At the time, it was in Washington, D.C. Mm-hmm. So while there, I would get a press pass to go. And I would go there for working. Really, it was a working vacation almost. Get to hang out in D.C. with friends and see them like once a year. But I'd also set up interviews for my radio show / podcast / whatever we were doing. So one year we ended up having our room canceled. It was me, my co-host Russ Gallo, a few other people, and we went to the hotel. We went to go check in, and they said, "I'm sorry, we don't have your room." So, of course, me being the smart ass I am, I go into the whole Seinfeld, but there was a reservation. The whole point of it is to hold the reservation and that whole routine. And they said, don't worry, we have a room for you. And I'm going, well, I hope it's got a great view of the atrium and all this other hoity-toity nonsense, just trying to make it seem like I was very put out by them not giving me the reservation. So we get to the room, and it turns out they gave us what they call a concept suite. A concept suite for this hotel was a 1,500 square foot suite, complete with bedroom, 2 sitting areas, and an outside area with like a party deck, a fire pit, and a hot tub. Now, of course, again, me being the smartass that I am, said, "Oh my God, this is amazing. We have to throw a party," and we did. Not only did the party trend on Twitter at the time,
wow,
but we ended up throwing it many times afterwards that year. And one of the stories that was written about it was in Vanity Fair magazine in a write-up about CPAC, calling it something like disgustingly awesome. Because we literally had a party with people going into a hot tub. And think about every other party you've ever had with like college age people and a little older than that. I was in my 30s at the time, and just having an awesome time. It was open bar. We would go to like the what they call the PX on a military base nearby, because my friends were reserve duty at the time, and we would pick up cheap alcohol there. We'd all chip in. It would be like $500-$600 worth of booze. I had a member of Congress chip in with food, and we would have a party. And the only thing you had to do was sign and get on our email list. That was the entry at the door. And at one point, we had like 300 people, 250 to 300 people in this suite. It was ridiculous. And this is how I met Jack.
I've heard about these infamous hot tub parties. I have.
Yes, you should have seen Jack in the hot tub all naked and stuff. Oh my God. The man was an animal. From his purple crushed velvet jacket. It was like a smoking jacket.
Well, my story isn't...
The man thought he was Hugh Hefner.
My story isn't as glamorous, but basically when I was working at the Daily Caller, at the time there was something going on with net neutrality with the FCC. And the head of it is Ajit Pai. And I don't know why the left were freaking out about something about that. I don't know, whatever. And then they had, like, him come in to do some sort of stupid, silly video where they wanted to, like... They had some idiot, Benny Johnson, come in and try to do, like, we're going to do a meme video. It was just some
he's
stupid
big into
thing.
That now.
Yeah, oh my God. It was just super stupid. But... They were like, oh, well, like, for this scene, we need, like, people dancing around a G-Pie. Like, do you want to, like, dance, be in the video? And I'm like, okay. I don't even know who the guy is, really. He was nice, though. He's a nice guy. And, but then I had a cigarette in my mouth. I'm just, like, dancing, doing my thing, whatever. Did my thing. We filmed. We left. And then, next thing you know, when the video airs, like, the media's freaking out. And, like, they're trying to make a G-Pie look bad. So they were just, like, trying to investigate who else was in the video. And then they, like, there's no dirt on anyone else. But then they, like, spot me and they're like, who is she? And they, like, looked up who I am. And they found, like, this really silly, hilarious, like, YouTube video that I made, like, years before I started working in media when I was, like, a burlesque dancer. And it was, like, during the time the Pizzagate thing was, like, really big. Like, that was when, like, the emails were exposed, Hillary's emails, and in them there was something about cheese pizza, like, code word and all that. And it was just a really silly, funny video where I was talking about, like, Larry Bird, thinking it was, like, the other Bird guy, Hillary's buddy Bird, the Grand Wizard of the KKK, and then it was, like, shots of Larry Bird playing basketball, and it's like, he's a basketball player. I'm like, oh yeah, he is, isn't he? It was just stupid. And then I had Jesse Ventura constantly turning around going, it's a conspiracy. Like, it was clearly a funny video.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, and, like, and then my whole 2 cents on Pizzagate was just that, like, when I was on the deep web one time, I found out, like, that the code word for child porn was, like, cheese pizza. That's what they used on the deep web. And I was like, oh, that is a legitimate code word for, like, child porn. Just saying. Seen it on the deep web. That's what they used. So that was my 2 cents. But then the media went around saying, she's a Pizzagate conspiracy theorist. She's a huge promoter of the Comet Ping Pong conspiracy. I was like, I never talked about Comet Ping Pong. What the fuck are you guys talking about? I was like, you guys tried to, like, slander me and make me look like crazy so that, like, my association dancing next to a G Pie in a video was, like, bad. So, cool.
Isn't it amazing how that snowballs?
Yeah.
Yet, the worst of the worst people are promoted by the same people that try to take you down.
Yep.
And nothing ever happens to them. And they have a million times worse things going on.
Yep.
It's absolutely crazy.
It's just really crazy how they wanted to twist and lie, and then I blame the right for kind of not really stepping up and going, excuse me, these are the lies in what you just tried to peddle. I think that's a story. Like, we got Joy Reid on MSNBC, like, saying she's a Pizzagate conspiracy there, like, Comet Ping Pong, and I'm like, they kept bringing up Comet Ping Pong.
I still don't understand Pizzagate.
I don't know, like, I think what they were on about is that, like, the Comet Ping Pong thing, there was, like, someone showed up with a gun because of that whole, like, conspiracy of, like, them being, like, involved in, like, the child porn thing, and there's tunnels or something. I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know why I'm the professional Pizzagator, but, because I don't really even know, but someone showed up with a gun, and then, of course, now it's, like, it's a right-wing, like, dangerous conspiracy theory. It's people are showing up with guns.
Course, nobody asked you for comment on it.
Oh, no, absolutely not. And, even the video itself is, like, they don't even care. They just want to go out there and promote that. And I show it to people, and there have been people that kind of, they read the art, they didn't know me, they read these articles, they saw this in the media, then they wanted to kind of investigate a little bit further. They saw the video and they went, and then they messaged me, and they were like, I actually wanted to investigate what they were saying because there was no specifics, and when I saw it, I was like, what the hell is this shit? Like, it's a really funny video.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what to tell you.
You know what? You made a point early in what you were saying that I want to just track back to for a second.
Mm-hmm.
For the longest time, it's been crazies on the left, wimps on the right.
Yeah.
And that's,
yes.
The left has lost their mind, the right lost its nerve.
Yeah.
And I think there was a book to that effect written about 10 years ago. And it's true. It's like the highway system we have. You either have the fast lane to disaster or the slow lane to disaster, left or right. I mean, that's the way it's going to be. Right. But I think we're starting to see that changing. And forgive me for being white-pilled and optimistic, but I'm starting to see a culture turn from left to right. And I'm hoping that this book is part of that momentum as well. But I hope that you'll be a part of that as well. When we see people who don't identify as loony left, and not everybody on the left is crazy. I have continued through creating more culture. Like, I know you mentioned the Daily Caller, and I know it's a sore spot with you, but I love that they're creating movies now.
And no, that's the Daily Wire. People always get the confused. That's Daily Wire, yeah.
Tucker on one side, Ben on the other.
Right.
My bad.
Yeah, no worries. People always do that. It's very interesting. I think it's the daily part.
It probably is. It's probably or it could be that I'm just a moron. It could be that too.
Everyone does it. Yeah. No. Yeah. That's Daily Wire's doing that. I was like, they're doing movies. I was like, oh,
yeah.
no.
We're seeing Daily Wire do movies, but the movies are entertainment first, message second. It's not the God's Not Dead class of movies where you have to make the message be front and center in your face all the freaking time. Entertain me. That's why movies like, just to go into some cinema for a second, and I wouldn't even call it cinema, but like reboots of Ghostbusters with all women. That's why they fail, because it's not about telling the story in a funny, humorous way, entertaining someone. It's, oh, look, we put women in place of men. Aren't we so edgy? You can be edgy by actually telling a good story, telling something new, creating something new. If I see another reboot, I'm going to lose my freaking mind.
I know. I did a video on this years ago at Rebel, and it was basically why I think they do reboots. There's two reasons. One, they don't even have ideas anymore. And I mean, I give more credit to the left a lot of times with being more creative, and they like to do the arts and appreciate the arts and are a little bit more creative. But lately, they've run out of so many ideas that they're just so lazy. They're like, let's just do a reboot. And then second of all, I think that they want to they want to retell what is the phrase? Not retell history. They want to change history, like rewrite. There you go. Yeah, they want to rewrite history because there are these classics, but there are things in these classic movies that maybe aren't socially acceptable anymore. They have to add an agenda in it. So let's take these amazing classics, we'll rewrite it, and then we'll slip in our SJW stuff. So there we go. Now it's new. You don't need to watch the old one anymore.
There's a perfect example happening right now with Amazon doing a whole reimagining of the Lord of the Rings. We're seeing that now we have different characters of different ethnicities in this world, and a lot of Tolkien fans right now are up in arms about it, and literally $1 billion was poured into this project. It's probably gonna suck, and it's not gonna suck because it's not faithful to the world that was created, and is trying to reimagine it. I don't know about anybody else, but I would read Tolkien or any other fantasy novel not to be reminded of life as I know it.
Right.
I want to be immersed in a world that is different than the world I'm in. I want to escape my world.
Yeah, that's true.
Now you're taking the fantasy worlds that were created that are beloved, and you're smacking everybody in the face with real world issues.
Yeah.
What is the point of even going to that world if you're going to stick me with the same nonsense again?
Yeah, it's escapism. This is what we want. We want to just, like, have fun. And, like, do I need to be, like, reminded that, like, oh, women in power? I mean, whatever. And it's cool. Like, I love, the female archetype. I'm not saying, oh, be submissive. But it's like, I don't need the, like, feminist takes and things, like, all the time. Just relax. Let's just tell the story. Like, we're cool.
You know what? If a heroine is natural to the story,
she doesn't need to go out and exclaim, women are powerful too. Like, you don't need to say it. And that's what they say about art a lot of times. And making a comic book, it's the same thing. They always say, when you tell stories, show, don't tell. And I think that's the problem, is like, I have no problems with a female lead, a female being powerful, a female being badass. Like, love it. Always grew up loving that. But what the difference is that they would show, not tell. Now they, like, have to tell you. They have to preach at you about how powerful, and that's what makes me, like, eye roll. So,
I mean,
whatever.
Alien. The first Alien movie.
Yeah,
perfect
exactly.
example.
Yep.
And
Riley. Yeah.
People did Ripley. People didn't know.
That's it, yeah.
The whole reason that Ripley was the hero is because the alien was impregnating the men and killing them when the alien would come out. That's a natural story arc, and it put her in a position that she wouldn't have been in before, and she triumphed through it. You can say the same thing. You can say the same thing along racial lines. Like for example, Hamilton. Mm-hmm. Great musical, great music. Absolutely love the music, love the scoring of it. But there's that one line in it that takes me out of it between Hamilton and Lafayette when they say, immigrants, we get things done. You could have told us such a better story by talking about how Hamilton was an immigrant, Lafayette was an immigrant, and watch them get things done. I didn't need to be reminded that you're trying to shove that message out there with a catchphrase line. Right. It could have been so much more naturally done.
Immigrants get things done, Jack?
Well, as an immigrant.
Okay, so I gotta go. I mean, I don't want to cause any familial strife here. So.
No, actually, my family are immigrants too. I'm the first American.
You are.
It's true. It's a nation of immigrants, right? No,
it's a nation of settlers.
I'm first generation American, the first in my entire lineage that is born in America. So that's exciting. But I did want to just give a quick little shout out. Who was it? Thank you, Nightwave. Nice to see you in here. Really cool. Thank you. And then, let me see. I think Douglas, I already gave my hey. I don't know why the widgets aren't working. I put the widget, I gotta figure this thing out. Maybe, do I have to have StreamYards open? No, the widgets work without having StreamYards open. I gotta check on my StreamYards. I don't know why the pop-ups aren't working. Usually when there's like a donation, like things flash on the screen, and it gets people all excited. It's like a thing. I don't know why it's not working right now. I gotta sort that out. Jay says, as a black man.
Yes, absolutely. I'm just running through some of the comments.
There's a lot of comments, and it's amazing. I think this deflating atheism guy had a lot of interesting. But he's the one that brought up the Vanity Fair point, and I think to his point, it was something about Epstein and how like someone kind of deaded this Epstein article before that whole thing got exposed, and then I forget. Right.
So from what I understand, ABC News had Project Veritas leaked out some footage from ABC News of a reporter talking about how she had the Epstein story dead to rights, and that someone at ABC News killed the story, and she'd been working on it for months, even years. I don't remember the exact context of it, but if that's what he's talking about, then yeah.
I'm sorry, you got to continue that story, but I'm a little bit like Jack insists that I'm dyslexic because like I read things wrong. I'm just like,
that's okay.
Apparently it's defeating atheism. I think I said deflating.
Wow.
I'm a little dyslexic. I'm sorry. Okay, sorry. I just had to laugh out loud. Go ahead, Gene, with that.
No, it's totally okay. I mean, I love hearing about. See, this is the spice that everybody tunes in for. Me calling Chase Connor on my stream. You misnaming people now.
Like, and deflating it. Like, what does that even mean?
That is what
It means whatever he wants it to mean. Okay?
Does it say deflating or defeating? It says deflating. Okay.
Zoom in on it. Make sure you see it, because
Jay said it's defeating. I can't read. I don't know. Jay's the dyslexic one. I was right. Oh my god. Okay.
Okay.
Whatever. We're artists. We can be
I don't
dyslexic.
even remember what we're talking about, and it's awesome. It's so much better.
No, it was just the Vanity Fair thing. We're just like, I'm sorry. I'm dyslexic that I didn't even know I was right about it. I just thought I assumed I was like, of course I read that wrong. Naturally, I read that wrong. There's so many things I read wrong. I'm trying to think of a good one. No, the other day when we were in the city, I don't know. Have you been to the new Moynihan train line?
No, I haven't.
It's
I haven't
really
been to the city in a
nice.
very long time.
It's really nice, but we were getting these sandwiches from this fancy Italian sandwich shop, whatever, and they had all the different, oh, you're Italian, okay, and I'm like, you're Italian. And there's prosciutto, how do you say it? Prosciutto and mozzarella and all that stuff in the sandwich, which I love. And they had all these different names, for Italian kind of names for each of the sandwiches. And I was I was saying it so fancy. I was like, I'm going to get the Pinocchio or something. I was saying something like that. And Jack was like, Martina, it's Pinocchio.
Oh my god. Well, let me just say this. Living with an Italian mother, as you know, keeps me in the shape that I'm in also. But if I ever mispronounce an Italian phrase, wooden spoon in the back of the head.
I've had wooden spoon on
and by the
behind.
way, Mom says hi and sends her love to both.
Oh, thank you. We missed. God, I can't believe it's been so long. But yeah, well, we should come see you guys soon.
We'll come to you, or
Great.
you come to us. We'll figure something out. Absolutely. But
you were talking about Vanity Fair. Sorry.
What?
Okay, well, to be fair, Jack also sometimes does things like this. So we were watching, look. You know, it takes forever to find something on Netflix to watch. We're just looking.
Oh my god, yes.
And we're looking and looking. We're like, okay. And Jack's like, look, how about the Do-Over? Let's watch the Do-Over. I'm like, Jack, it's the Do-Over. The Do-Over. So well, I'm not the only one. You do it.
You have to forgive Jack. He comes from a nation that spells every word wrong. Okay? So, they put that extra U in there. They call the Z, Z.
Oh, I know, right? H, they go H.
Yeah, what is that all about?
I don't know.
Yes, I know what Jack's going to say. Well, it was our language first. Yes, you may have invented it and taken 3 different times to invent it, but we perfected it. Just like the world.
True.
All right?
True. Okay, I am going to flip back over to the campaign real quick, and I just want to see, we got 2851.
Okay. You know what? I totally forgot about the campaign. I'm just having fun with everybody. It's so great.
It is, yeah. And then you can catch up on the chat while I do this.
Oh, absolutely. So I will catch up on the chat. Let me see if there's any comments that tickle my fancy here.
Oh, we got a few more, because we had 2851 or something. Now we're at 2890. So good stuff.
So there's another one there. I'll shout it in a second. Darth Praxis, talking about the Lord of the Ring comments I made. They've taken Galadriel and made her some kind of warrior queen, which she was not, and then changed Elrond from the warrior leader to the elves to pacifist. Exactly. But how about the dwarf queen that is now a woman of color? I'm trying to understand how dwarfs who live in caves and darkness underground develop melanin. It seems to be. I want to see how they, contort, back to buffoonery, how they can do the agenda gymnastics to contort their way to that. I'm sure it's going to be a brand new variation of dwarf culture that Tolkien never contemplated, and I'm sure he's going to be very racist for having never contemplated it before. Because back in the 1930s, he should have thought of everything that we hold near and dear here in 2022. Crazy.
Yeah, that's some nerd talk there.
We've lost it. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. My chat
out.
are a bunch of nerds, so you will get on with that. I'm a nerd in a different way. I got the math stuff going on.
Yes, I know all the stuff I hate. I tell people the reason why I went into law is because the only math I knew how to do was divide by 3.
Oh, I was going to say logic, though, Gene, because I actually see I would be very interested in maybe getting a law degree in something, because I see law as logic, and logic is math. So
you would think there would be a lot of logic in the law, but a lot of law is, common law, which a lot of times is common sense. There is a lot of common sense.
Well, there's developing arguments, because that's also part of logic. Is there's stated facts, and then there's an argument, and then you can show like a proof through logic, and it's just an interesting way to kind of prove an argument. And a lot of people don't have that. They just kind of jump through these like random hoops and false equivalences or whatever, and it's like no, but logically that's not sound. Like it doesn't work.
You know what? I'm going to tell you a story that's going to make you absolutely incensed about
great.
The law. So I was involved in a case where it was a normal car accident case where there was a T-bone collision in an intersection. Mm-hmm. And one of the things I had to prove was because the offending vehicle, my client, made contact with the vehicle on the side of it, like the passenger door side with the front of the vehicle, that the car was traveling too quickly through the intersection. So I based it upon his testimony, the driver's testimony, saying approximately how long before you saw the other vehicle in the intersection, before you came into contact with him, how long was that interval? And he said it was about 10 seconds or whatever it was. And I said, and approximately when you saw them at that time, 10 seconds before, how fast was the vehicle driving? I was going about 20 miles an hour. Of course he wasn't, but whatever. Mm-hmm. So in opposition to a motion they made to dismiss the case, I said, let's apply simple math.
Right.
If he saw someone while traveling 20 miles an hour, 10 seconds away, the amount of time before I got to the intersection it turned out to be a certain number of feet. And in that number of feet, he had ample opportunity to, apply brakes and avoid the accident. The judge still dismissed the case because I didn't get an expert to state this simple
mathematical
math
equation
problem, this math equation. I had to get an expert, an accident reconstructionist, pay him like $2,000 to write a report doing the exact same thing that I just did. So I tried to argue logic, and the judge said, your logic's not good enough. You need someone who's an expert in it, and pay that person to tell me this. So the law is not necessarily always about logic. It's about copying other people's work, and the idea of precedent. But it's also about critical reading when it comes to like statutory interpretation and things like that. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of skills that go into it. Not that I'm any great shakes at it. I'm pretty good. Been doing it for about 16 years.
You do litigation.
Yep.
That's amazing. So
basically, anything you go to court for, I handle outside of criminal proceedings. So accidents, business disputes, landlord-tenant stuff, election law, things like that.
Wow. It's really interesting. It's fascinating stuff.
It's one way to put it. Some of it's interesting, some of it is infuriating, and some of it's just plain boring.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure the judge or lawyers involved in my case were quite entertained or annoyed, either or.
I will make no comment on this.
Either or.
Because I have personal information about the case that I don't know whether it's public or not, and I'm going to leave it alone.
Right. I'm going to leave it alone as well. I just had to say that. But,
well, here's what... Listen, we've been talking about my book and just, bullshitting around and whatever. I need to know what's going on with the comic. I think everyone in the chat needs to know what's going on with the comic.
Sounds good.
Because I am so excited to hear what's going on with the comic.
Well, thank you. Well, very exciting news today is that all the artwork and the script is 100% complete. It took a while, but we are complete, and I handed off all of the files today to the letterer, which is the person that puts all the little word bubbles on the comic books. So that should be done next week, and then I can get to the printers. So
I can't wait.
Yeah,
this is a long time coming.
I know.
Can you, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you after seeing the artwork?
It's exciting, but I've been staring and perfecting and nitpicking it for quite some time, so I'm pretty numb to it right now.
Oh, okay, I can understand being numb to it.
You know what it
What
is
is-
like? It's like looking at your work, like working on your book, like, and you've seen all the details. But yeah, no, it's exciting to see when I lay it out and I put all the pages like in a piece of what is it called, like a folder or something, and there's no blank spots and there's no empty coloring on a page. It feels like I'm done already. Like, it feels like a breath of fresh air to just have the artwork done, because that's the hardest part, and it's really frustrating when it's something you can't control. And I mean, my team is fantastic currently, and they're professionals, but it's still always nerve-wracking, especially after dealing with what I've dealt with in the past, to like not have control over that and then have everybody like stressing out on you about it. And I'm just like, all I can do is give people money and tell them what to do. Like, that's all. I can't bring a gun to anyone's head and say make the artwork. So it's really nice to kind of be like, okay, phew, like that is all done. We just have some printing to do, which is another stressful thing. We've got a paper shortage issue, which I'm sure you probably know about. And then there's managing the budgeting of the printing and shipping costs, and I mean, that's the kind of stuff you're going to deal with as well with Indiegogo, is like suddenly not realizing how expensive shipping is and the cost of everything. Oh my Lord.
Thank God I had a publisher like New Degree Press who's done this Indiegogo stuff before.
Oh, good, yeah.
Because built into the process and built into the price on everything is free shipping.
Right.
So that in that sense, I have it built in. It's just a matter of me, getting the postage and putting it all together and sending it out and doing the grunt work. That's okay. But for me, and this is something that's probably old hat to you because of all the art and beauty that you've created in your life. This is the first time for me really putting something I wrote out there to the public to say, what do you think?
Right.
It's something that I've created that I no longer have control over once it's out there.
Right.
And it's a very nerve-wracking thing
yeah.
for me. And I'm just wondering, how do you deal with that, especially with your own project coming out and it's highly anticipated.
Oh God.
And how do you deal with that? Is it good enough?
Yeah, that's been my stress lately, which is the realization that it is done and it's going to be out there soon, and what are people going to think of it? And I mean, I'm always really hard on myself, and I was the same as a performer. That's why I would get stage anxiety, is because going out on stage and putting yourself out there artistically is like, it's really nerve-wracking, and you get stage anxiety because you care so much what other people think. And it's a low self-esteem thing. It's, oh my God, am I good enough? It's that whole imposter syndrome type thing, and is this stupid? And what sucks about live performing in regard to having that anxiety is that people can sense your energy. So if you go up on stage and you're all filled with nerves and thinking like, oh, and you're timid about sucking, the audience feels that, and they get the secondhand embarrassment like for you. But you have to kind of have that like, listen, I am, and this is the same thing with your book, is you are your own unique person. Like, I have a certain skill set, I have a certain persona, I have a certain, way about my art that is unique to me, and it's the same with you and your book. Like, you are uniquely Jean, and only you are you, and that is what you're putting out there. So it's not
uniquely Jean. That sounds like a perfume.
Uniquely Jean. And
it does. We're gonna work on that next.
That should be your screen name. Uniquely Jean.
Oh my God. No, it will not be.
And but I mean, it's like, that is what makes you kind of have pride in your work, is just that, like, you are your. Yeah, it sounds stupid. We're all individual, unique snowflakes. Yes, and we all have our own thing. But it's true. If I try to go out there and be like Lady Gaga, like, I'm not Lady Gaga. Like, why am I trying to be like her? Like, I should be me. And when I'm uniquely myself, then that is like the essence you're putting out there. So
and
it's like
love
you.
For it.
Yeah, exactly.
As I see in the chat.
Yeah. So
but you know what it is for me though? I've gotten to the point where it's like, I really don't give a shit. You can like it, you can hate it. As long as you have some reaction to it, I'll be okay with it.
Right.
If it makes you think and you think that I'm an idiot, great. If it makes you think and you think I'm a genius and solve the world's political problems, awesome. That's all good. Because at the end of the day, for me, this book is a lot about my friends, because, as I said, it's a product of the conversation we had for like a decade. It's an idea that we all came up with together while we were doing the show, while we were involved in politics in Brooklyn, and all that. So in a lot of ways, it's a way to document a moment in time, as I said, the video, that I'm never going to forget. And that includes you and Jack, more you than Jack, of course. But it includes you guys. It includes everybody from back in Brooklyn that we've all split up to the four winds now. And, you know, we came together at that time, and I wanted to try to capture some of those ideas, some of the laughter, some of the dark humor of what we were doing and what we found, and try to turn it into something that will be useful to somebody else maybe in thinking about like politics. Because unfortunately today we're all forced to think about politics because it has invaded every single part of our life.
Yeah.
So if I can bring you a little bit of a smile to people's faces talking about me and my friends and the bullshit we were talking about back in the day and apply it to today, then, you know, mission accomplished.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. That's how I feel as well with my artwork, is that, you know, if it affects someone or has someone learn a little bit of... Because my stuff revolves all around alchemy. So even with the comic book, something as silly as you think a superhero comic book thing, of course I have elements of alchemy concepts, which alchemy is about perfecting your soul and bettering yourself and refinement over and over and learning things. So there is some of that in there, and I'm hoping that people pick up on some of those cues, and in reading a silly comic book, they can go like, cool. Like, she made me feel present in the moment for a moment, made me think about my life in a moment. So like, that's cool. And
provide me something beautiful to distract me from all the other moments in my life that are just a pain in the ass to me. Absolutely.
Exactly.
By the way, I have to give a shout out to Mr. Pope Noir in the chat, who agrees with me when I say that British people don't know how to speak English. So thank you. I really appreciate that. And the more that we remind Jack that he doesn't speak English properly, maybe someday in the distant future, we can get him to speak properly. I think that's a great mission in life. We need to Americanize Jack.
He's getting there.
It's going to happen.
I hate to admit it, Gene, but I met friends of mine in the city who came over from England, and they told me that I'm starting to sound slightly American.
Really?
Yeah, I know. I didn't believe it either. And but also, it's true that I say American words now.
Well, I do the same way in British stuff, because I get confused sometimes, like, between, like, a British word or, like, an American word. Like, the boot, you know? I'm like, boot, trunk, like, which one is it? Like, I forget. Like, where am I?
Well, just repeat after me, Jack. McNugget.
That's the national dish here, right?
Oh my
Lord. I don't think so, but yeah, to a lot of people it is. Absolutely. But listen, I've been following the chat. There's some hilarious people in here.
I know.
It's really cool. I see everyone's pumped for the comic as well. That is going to be coming out soon.
We got BMT Lines. He's actually an old photographer of mine back like a decade ago when I had like purple hair, silver hair. And he shot me at maybe you know it, Gene. Was it in Long Island, the Air Power Museum?
Oh, yes. That's in Garden City, I believe.
Yeah.
The Cradle of Aviation.
Yes. So he shot me at the Air Power Museum many years ago, and he's a patron of mine, and he's always coming, and he's very supportive. Great guy. He said, an old British friend of mine liked to say, quote, English hasn't been spoken in America for 200 years.
Sounds about right.
American Air Power Museum. Oh, the American
Listen,
Air
we're
Power
America,
Museum.
right? We're America.
Yeah. Yeah, so someone says, deflating atheism. Deflating. Okay.
Yes, deflating. Yes.
Says,
we got it. We got it.
Reminds me of a stand-up comic talking about cultural exchange. Quote, the French gave us the croissants, we gave them the croissantwich.
Oh, and croissant pizza.
Croissant pizza?
Yeah, in the freezer.
Like the crust is a croissant?
Yeah. Your brother told me that.
Makes sense.
I haven't heard of that as well. I haven't heard of that yet. Okay. Someone recommended to Queen Boudica Radiant. What a name, by the way. I love it. Watch The Last Kingdom. That is my current favorite. I'm going to check that out for sure. Yes, pronunciation is complicated. I'm just catching up on some of the geekier stuff here. Chase. See, Chase, I got it right. It's especially, talking about Lord of the Rings, it's especially strange considering that the races of Lord of the Rings were based directly on the British Isles. That's absolutely. Men were English, dwarfs were Scottish, elves were Welsh, and hobbits were Irish.
Wait, is there a difference between dwarves and elves and hobbits?
Yeah, there's a yes. Really, you haven't read Tolkien and you haven't watched the movies, have you?
What movies?
The Lord of the Ring films.
That's based on Tolkien? I don't know.
Yes, it's based on Tolkien.
I know what it is. I know it's based on Tolkien, but I've never read it.
I didn't know that.
You uncultured swine!
I know. That's some nerd shit, dude. The only thing I know about Lord of the Rings was, I have to say, in the 90s, I used to love Elijah Wood. And I remember on dial-up internet and all that stuff that there were, and I would look up Elijah Wood on the internet, and it was like in the making. It was for years and years. There was the making of, he was about to do this thing of Lord of the Rings, and he was going to play Hobbit. And I remember when they were in the making, preparing to do it.
Yeah, well, it turned out to be multi-year project.
Yeah.
So it's many hours of watching. I have a visitor down here. Hang on a second. Come here, come on, up. You want to say hi?
Oh,
come here. Can you? Lady came over. My little poochie. You can't really see her on the screen, I don't think. But
no, I can't. I can do a full screen though.
No. I can bring her up here. Give me a second.
Well, I also have a $20 super chat. Thank you so much for Quang So. Oh, there's Lady. He said, I backed your book way back before the legal troubles and rebacked after the campaign suspension was cleared up. But here's a little extra to reward your persistence. Thank you so much. See, this is the thing. Whenever I get a hard time from people, it's usually people that aren't even my backers. My backers are like super extra supportive, and it means so much to me. Like, I want to be able to put a little nice package together, especially for the like original backers from like backer number 1, Jack. Like backer number like 1 to like 100 or something is going to be like a really big deal. Like, I'm gonna package 1 and be like, look, we're here. You finally are getting it. So thank you so much. It honestly means so much, and I feel like, Gene, you understand. Like, it's just kind of like, really? Like, you care to like support me? Like, thank you so much. Like,
and some of the weirdest people, like the most random people, would care. So one of the people back in the campaign, I couldn't believe it, is, and for those of you who don't know politics, I'll explain, is Linda Sarsour.
Huh.
She actually is backing the campaign.
No.
Absolutely. We're like frenemies online because we're both from Brooklyn. And we both, we both sponsored an event for a politician way back in the day. Right. And, we remain friends, just not talking about politics, but talking about, how's your son doing? How's my nephew doing?
Oh, my God.
Just talking like that. And she backed the campaign. I'm like, you do realize I'm basically talking smack about every Democrat out there. She's like, yeah, whatever. So do I.
That is so funny.
I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked.
Wow.
But it's amazing the people, and it's also amazing the people that you expect to back things like that don't, and you're just like, okay, nice to meet you. I'm very much into vendetta.
Well, Gene, I'm a housewife, but I'm getting a few super chats, but I'm probably gonna use that for some packaging, but maybe my husband Jack will be a backer. I don't know.
A backer of what?
A backer of what? He said.
Wait.
Oh, he already is though.
Yeah. Oh, you are?
Yeah,
you back, Gene? Okay, he's back.
Yeah.
Good. I'm making sure.
He was like at the top. He was in the top 10, Mike.
I am making sure you're backing, Gene. That's all.
Listen, Jack knows where his bread is buttered.
Okay.
He was right in on it. It was like Johnny on the spot, man.
Johnny on the spot.
I know I'll get a beating if I don't, Gene.
Listen, the flogging shall continue until morale improves.
We got a few more super chats, which is fantastic. We got Barb Rogers. Hi, nice to see you, Little Miss Sunshine. That's $5 Canadian. Thank you so much. So nice to see you. Like, this is what I miss about streaming, is like there really is a little crew of us that I feel like I never really see anymore, but when we get back on here, I see you again, and I'm like, oh my god, hi,
You know
nice to
what,
see you.
Martina? Can you hang out with the crew for a little bit then? Because
Yes.
a little puppy has to do a little thing.
Oh,
and
okay.
I'm
And
the only one
speaking
up
of,
to
someone
do it.
says, enjoy your content, cute Poochie. So.
Aw, she's the best. She's absolutely the sweetest. I'll tell you a story about it when I get back, but just let me take care of her, okay?
Sounds good. I'm going to put
I'll
the
be right
screen
back.
just on me. There we go. Now you have all of me, except it's really dark in here. I need a light. But I probably will also, since Gene is kind of taking a break, I can always take a break myself, and put on his video real quick another time, because I want to play the video a few times. But let me just check in on you guys. I really appreciate it. Martina Markota, enjoy your content. Thank you. Bye, Chase. Nice to see you. We'll wrap it up in a little bit, but maybe we'll just hang on for another half hour. Why not? Let's just round it out to 2 hours. 25 minutes? No, 25 minutes. We're good. I thought Martina lived in England. I did live in England for a few years, but I am back in New York. So, yeah. Born and raised. New York. Little Miss Sunburn. That's what it is. It's not the dog in the fight, it's the fight in the dog, Martina, she said. Thank you. It really means a lot that you guys are really supportive. That's right, so you're back on YouTube. What's up, D. Mina? And again to Kwang So, the backer of mine and rebacker, and it really means a lot that you guys kind of get it. I feel like I was unfairly dealing with a lot of abuse and bullshit, and I'm glad that people kind of understand that that's what I was dealing with, that it was really messed up, but at the same time believed in me and supported me to get this fulfilled, and so that's where we are. But anyway, Gene, I was actually going to have a little break myself and put your video on again.
Oh, great.
Just to replay it. Sometimes as different people kind of come in and out, and then we'll wrap this up in I don't know, maybe we'll round it out to a 2-hour stream, so another 20 minutes, 25, 20 minutes.
Whatever you guys want to do, I'm here for it. I'm having a blast just hanging out. It's great. Right. And again, to everybody that's backed the campaign so far, thank you so much. It's absolutely amazing and so humbling that people that I don't even know are doing this because Martina said so. It's great. Thank you so much, everybody.
All right, I'm going to put this video on for a few minutes, and I'll be right back.
Hey there, my name is Gene Beradelli, and I want to tell you all about this great book I just wrote. It's entitled Schnooks, Crooks, Liars and Scoundrels, a field guide to identifying political buffoons.
Ain't nothing changed, nothing new here to see. This ain't nothing but some political maneuvering. America, welcome to the eulogy, eat it up. It's called political buffoonery.
Have you ever listened to a politician speaking about something or other and thought to yourself, man, what an idiot? This is the best we got? Well, the short answer is, yeah, because you, me, all of us, we let it happen. We were duped, either unwittingly or willingly, by a political buffoon. Through my experiences as an attorney, political columnist, and as an award-winning podcaster, I developed this totally made-up pseudoscience that I like to call buffoonology, which we'll use to learn what makes different kinds of political buffoons tick. We'll examine some pretty interesting real-life examples of political buffoonery that I found in both American history and in today's political current events, in the hope that maybe someday in the distant future we can stop the next would-be crop of dummies from taking office.
Ain't nothing changed, nothing new here to see. This ain't nothing but some political maneuvering. America, welcome to the eulogy, eat it up. It's called political buffoonery.
My book is the culmination of over a decade of political conversations between me and an awesome group of friends from a time when we were all actively involved in local politics in New York City. Our shared observations all led to ask, what is it about politics that attracts some of the weirdest, wackiest, and the dumbest people? So in a way, my book is a love letter to a moment in time we all shared that I don't ever want to forget. This book is perfect for anyone who has an opinion about today's politics. And these days, who doesn't? This book is for anyone for whom sarcasm is a second language. It's for people who want to understand how we as a nation got where we're at with the leadership we have. Or for anyone interested in the quirky history of America, the stuff that you didn't learn in high school, but if you had learned it in high school, you would have liked history a little more. Those people. But most importantly, my book is for anyone who thinks that we take ourselves way too seriously, and that sometimes you just need to revel in the absurdity of it all. So what do you think, folks? Have I written the book that's finally going to change the world? Probably not. But all of you together, you can change my world. Let's get this book published. And from there, who knows? I'm Gene Beradelli. I wrote a book called Schnooks, Crooks, Liars, and Scoundrels.
Doesn't matter.
Hey, we're back.
Live stream, folks. Anything can happen.
So I forgot that I have the Streamlabs. Ooh, the Streamlabs link is over there down by Gene, and I forgot that this widget isn't working. I gotta sort out this widget, and then I went, oh my god, what if someone donated via Streamlabs? So I see that I have two donations that I wanted to see if there's a comment for real quick. Recent events? Should I do that? Everything's changed. Everything has changed recently. Like, I don't even know what's happening anymore. Oh, there it is. There, it scared me.
Okay. You know, one
Martina
thing that,
Markota, I enjoy your content. Cute poochie.
Aw, oh, my doggy. I'll tell you a story about Lady in a minute, but in streaming through the comments on the chat, it seems like a lot of people want you to start streaming again more often.
Yeah.
And I agree.
Yeah, it's fun. It always feels like stressful, and you saw like before we like got on, I was like, okay, and we have this. Oh my god, I got all these different things you gotta do, and it sucks being your own producer. I wish you could be like Crowder, where like he has the whole production team, you know.
But you know what? Your core people, nobody cares about that nonsense.
Yeah,
it adds to the richness of the experience.
Yeah.
It's the authenticity of the experience as well. So don't let that stuff stress you. It used to stress me out a lot. Don't let it.
Yeah, I'm definitely like a very perfectionist type person. Ooh, what's happening here? I don't understand what's happening with Streamlabs anymore, but to be honest, I think YouTube showed the Streamlabs donations, but it didn't do the pop-up, so
okay.
That's okay. Ooh, things like that. Barb Rogers, thank you so much. I'm just clicking the things. These are old donations, but like I'm able to do the pop-ups manually now, so whatever. I'll play with that again. It's weird when you don't stream for a while. I don't know if you noticed this, Gene. I don't know what programs you use, but I have like OBS and Streamlabs and even the YouTube thing, the going live thing. Things change. Nothing ever stays the same.
Yeah.
It's like when you don't stream for a while, you're like, how do I do this? What's going on here?
I've only gone live like 5 or 6 times, and I've been using Restream.
Okay, yeah, Restream.
Sort of the easiest one for me to maneuver, and I can put the web pages up on the screen with me in a little corner and all that. So that's what I've been working with. It's all new to me, and I'm trying to figure out my little niche in this whole thing.
Yeah, me too.
I have my own channel for the week, which I'm if you want to go there and subscribe, awesome. But if not, don't worry about it because there's not a lot happening with it right now because of the book, that you guys watched the video about. And it gets to the point where you start having all these projects going on, and you don't know which one to devote time to, and you're only one person, and you got to maintain your life and pay the bills and pay the rent and all that, and it gets very stressful. And I can understand what you're saying. But it seems like there is a demand out there, nay, a yearning, Martina, for you to be more present online. And I think you need to give the people what they want.
I gotta give the people what they want. No, I feel you, because I was doing the same thing. I mean, we had moving to America. We have all sorts of stuff that we were doing. And then my priority became like, let me just get this book done. Like, let's get this out, and put my head down. Even if there's nothing I can do other than direct my artists and pay them, it's just kind of like, let me just put my head into it and just disappeared for a minute, and now but now I'm in the point where I'm back. We're back. She's back. She's back. I don't know if you've ever watched Wife Swap, but that's the song of Wife.
Oh God, no,
She's
I haven't.
back. She's back. Yeah, it's fun.
Jack, should I watch Wife Swap?
Oh, it's so good.
It's hilarious.
Dude, 2000s reality TV is amazing.
Like,
It is.
during Christmas, like when I had some time off work and we were just chilling in front of the fire and stuff, we just watched hours on end of
Wife Swap.
And it was fantastic.
It's so good. But yeah, and then it's like every single time at the end when they like reunite, it's like, she's back, she's back. It's like some song, and Jack is just like, she's back, she's back. He was like all about it. But yeah, like I gotta, it's fun with the streams because sometimes I do the interviews like I'm doing with you, which is great to mix it up. I've had Lloyd Kaufman, who is Trauma. Yeah, Trauma Films, legend, Toxic Avenger. And I've had Michael Graves, who's a former singer of the Misfits. Who else? I don't know, I get a bunch of people. I have Gene Beradelli, Esquire today.
You know what? Fuck that guy.
And yeah, and someone is coming to. Hey, Queen, nice to see you, Queen. Yeah. And then she said they gave strikes on Martina's movie nights. That was when she stopped streaming. That is true too. Oh. So yeah, we had a bunch of fun different stuff. I did the interviews, like I said, with like people like that, and then I would do art history streams. I haven't done an etiquette stream in a while, but the etiquette stream is also really fun. It sounds boring, but it's actually really fun. We always learn new things, and kind of these Victorian etiquette things. Sometimes it's really funny, and you just get it. Like, we learn new definitions, new words, new things, new customs that we don't really see today. So it's actually really fun to see. But I was also doing it's movie streams, but it's like I'll get dressed up. So it's always during a holiday, and all the movies would relate to a holiday. But since it's like YouTube and streaming, you can't do copyright, right?
Yeah.
So I would look up public domain, and they're generally like B-rated, D-rated, whatever, like sexploitation, really low budget type films, which are actually really cool. They're super fun.
Bad movies are the best.
They're so good, and so the chat loved it. I would have like a lot of people, big viewership in the chat, a lot of donations. Like, we'd have so much fun. I was dressed up in costumes. Like, it was so much fun. But even though they were public domain, I would do my research. Like, I would study and prepare like a week in advance and really make sure I had the right public domain films. But for some reason, I would still get copyright strike. They would take down the stream. It sucks. So I feel like I can't do movie nights anymore.
One of the things that on the limited shows that I've done, is I've started looking into Rumble to see if they would be any different. Maybe it might be time to check that out.
That's true.
My co-host Russ, who we call him name redacted because he'll get in trouble with his job. But you guys know him. His idea is only do 10 minutes on YouTube, and then tell everybody if you want to see the rest, check out Rumble.
That's really smart, actually, because YouTube is kind of some people don't say they don't get the notifications. Oh, the shadow banning you, whatever, blah blah. But for the most part, like, that's why I keep sticking to YouTube, is because I'm like, but that's where everybody like kind of goes to see me. So what am I gonna do? But that's really smart to kind of still have the YouTube presence, but then you're able to kind of send everyone over, and then they get all excited.
Yeah, and you don't have to do it all at once. You can like do a simulcast.
Right.
Well, streaming with Gene. You do a simulcast, because I know so much more. You do a simulcast. What I normally do is just simulcast it with YouTube and Rumble. If they take it down, they take it down. I'm so small that I'm begging for subscribers so I can get kicked off YouTube. That's how tiny we are.
Right.
But eventually what we're going to end up doing is we'll just cut off the YouTube stream, not announce it, because I think even YouTube will get you in trouble for that if you try to scoop their subscribers onto another platform. They'll look for that as well.
No.
So, be careful about announcing it. But if people start knowing that you're going to turn it off at the 10 minutes and know to go somewhere else, they'll just eventually start going somewhere else.
That's
and
really interesting.
it'll work over time.
Right. Well, that's also the thing about being regular is like if you're regular, then everyone knows to come and tune in. But when you're not being so regular, it's tough.
Everyone's gonna follow you anyway because you have a very devoted group here. I can just tell from the chats. It seems like everybody knows you really, really well, and they're all backing you in great ways and being.
They're only here
engaging.
for me.
You just want to be a part of my stream so bad. Get out of here.
Yeah, everyone's here.
Out of here.
Everyone's just here for me, Gene. That's all there is.
He wants his own show.
He's like, do you think like I'll be bothering you if I'm just like in the back typing like am I gonna? And look at his his face in here.
At the desk the whole time.
He won't shut up.
I'm surprised he wasn't at the desk the whole time, just typing and just staring at you at the same time.
Just looking. That's what he does when we like prepare. Get the hell out of here. When I'm like prepping and I'm like getting ready and I'm on the computer and I have like the screen up, like you can see, and the next thing I know, I just see him on the computer and he's like looking over it.
Well, the best part is because I'm on Skype with you right now, my image is blocking him. It's perfect.
I know.
Place.
That's true. Yeah. Are you like technically like you can see him right now, but they can't? That's really funny.
I can't see him at all. He's got to really like bend down into the middle of the screen for me to be there. Jack. Jack is a good man.
I know.
I appreciate him. He's adorable.
Salty. Okay, Deflating Atheism. He says, Salty scoops viewers from YouTube to Rumble and Odyssey every single live stream. Who is Salty? What is going on? Who's Salty? But, no, that's an interesting kind of concept. I do have an account, so, I mean, I guess if you guys have a Rumble or Odyssey or you can go and find me, but it's supposed to mirror. I thought that it's supposed to be like mirroring when I'm on YouTube, that it automatically posts to those things, but I haven't seen it do that. I don't know how it works.
Yeah, I do a lot of. I actually take my stream and I do it to my Facebook page as well. And
people said they can see me in the window. And
he's like, "Oh my god!" That's why I put the.
They can.
Check. That's why I put the screen down.
Oh my god! I'm staring at the window now.
Like that's why I put the screen thing down so you don't see reflections. Because there are times where he'll be like in the kitchen or something in the house, and God knows what he's wearing. So I'm just like, make sure no reflections are seen.
Oh no! Get that image out of my head. No.
No, don't worry. It's just button up like plaid pajamas. Like a British old man.
God, now you got me thinking. So every time I think of Jack, I think of two things. I think of Harry Potter, because he has that look sometimes. But I also think of, what was the movie? I think it was called Pirate Radio with Kenneth Branagh. And I see him as Kenneth Branagh in that movie. Because it's about the pirate radio boat that was offshore from England. And it was like some minister in England that my God, it could have been Jack.
That sounds good, actually.
I have to find a photo of it now just to see. Hang on, I'm gonna search for this. And
all right, when you do that, I'm actually going. Yes, I will. You search for it, and while you do that, I'm just gonna check on your campaign again real quick. We got 2890. I should have taken a screenshot of what it was before, but you have all the.
Before we started, it was at 2651.
Okay.
And now, if it's 2890, that is freaking awesome.
Cool. Oh. Why does this take so long? I don't know what's happening. It's thinking.
Jeez.
Yeah, 2890.
So what happens with what made you choose that specific goal, and what happens if you when you meet it and so on? What happens?
Oh, my co-host has a question.
Oh, so that's a great question, Martina. So all of the money is going to be going towards the publishing of the book. My publisher, New Degree Press, is what they call a hybrid publisher. So basically, I'm not as hoity-toity as Jack. He has his own publisher that he goes to that will, maybe give him an advance for his work, and then they own the rights to the work, and they take care of all the risks and put it out there, and if you have to pay money back and whatever. I don't do any of that. What I'm doing is I'm working with a smaller company just started called New Degree Press, where they have editors on staff, they have copy editors on staff, marketing editors on staff, revisionist editors, and this whole team that is dedicated to building a community, kind of what I'm trying to do with the book now and getting people to back it. And the money is going to go towards publishing the book. it's not about sales for me. This is like bucket list stuff for me. I always wanted to do a book, something about, politics or whatever. It turned out to be this, jokes on me apparently. But it's all about getting the book out there, and they'll show you how to market the book later on, so you can get sales and you get, all the accolades and things, so that when you do it the second time around, which if I do that, I'm a masochist. But if I choose to do it the second time around, it makes it that much easier to go to a company. But the best thing is with this book, if it turns out that it turns out to a hit, which whether it does or not, great. But if it does, I own the rights to everything, so I can take it to another publishing house and I can revise it that way and go that route.
Yeah, and the answer to that question is also on the page. It says so. This is what the money raised will go towards, and it's there's editors, cover design, layout design. You got to pay people to do things. That's how it works.
I sent you the photo of the screenshot of Kenneth Branagh in that movie Pirate Radio. Tell me that's not Jack.
It so is. I'll put it up on the screen for a second. It kind of is. He has glasses like that too. I made him get it.
I know he does.
Did you hear what she just said? I made him get them.
Oh my god. Well, I can't make you do anything really, but I'm going to put it on the screen in a second. But I did notice over here that there is a perk, and it says let's plan an event together, and
oh, that's the big money one.
Yeah, and that kind of got me excited because Gene, I think the first time we met was an event I planned. It was election night 2016. And that was really fun. It had Gavin and all sorts of interesting characters. There were a lot of interesting characters at that.
Yes,
that
apparently I was part of the Proud Boys before the Proud Boys were cool. So
yeah. There was like Martin Shkreli there. There was all sorts of people there. It was ridiculous, but and my expertise is actually events, because I was an event entertainer, and even before I was Lady Alchemy, I was actually a boutique caterer. So I worked for this catering company that we would do like the Tony Awards. Like we had a lot, crazy events that were like multi-million dollars. And from being a caterer to performing those events, I have a lot of understanding of how events and functions work and the flow of them, and it's just really fun. And now when I see like events and parties, like I know how to do it. I just know how to do all that stuff. So if you get a backer in this tier, you got to hit me up and let me help you out with that event.
Absolutely.
That'll be really
even
fun.
if I don't get one, I do plan on, part of the thing about, doing this this fundraiser is I'm also going to do some sort of, book release party at some point. Cool. I don't know if it's going to be virtual or if we're going to be able to get together possibly in Brooklyn if you guys are there. Or, something like that. But we're going to do some, or maybe I'll do both. Like, for people who can't show up, we'll have, like, an online party, and then maybe we'll do, like, a small little get-together at a bar or a restaurant somewhere, and we'll all, celebrate the launch of the book. But don't think I didn't think about that. I remember the party you threw that we met at. It was absolutely tremendous. It was great.
Yeah, it was fun.
I had a booth as a VIP.
Yeah.
I'm like, me? Really?
Yeah, and we had.
Cool.
You know what's really funny? I could whip it out right now. I have I have a bag of.
Martina.
I have a bag of stuff from that party. I still have because I remember I was working on it for months on this party, and I made like custom like trivia pamphlets that were all political related. I had there was just a bunch of little interesting games and things at these booths, and what it's really funny because actually no, some people did use it because I thought because all the Proud Boys just got drunk and was partying and going wild, but I think there were some people that are more my speed that just sat down in a booth and they enjoyed going through the little pamphlets that I made and playing the games and stuff.
We went through them. You know what? Actually, hang on a second. So this is from that night. That's me and my friends.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's so fun.
I'll put it back
yeah,
up
man.
later, but...
Parties are so fun. We got to do more real live events. And this is the thing is that I feel like since 2016, there have been events that the right put on, but it's always the same boring thing. It's always so and so E-celeb is a speaker, and then like that's it.
Yeah, I don't want that anymore.
And
I
I'm
agree.
just like, oh, like that's not an event, guys. Like you need to have a party. Like we need to have drinks. We need to have entertainment. We had lots of entertainment. We had various
I
sorts of
introduced somebody,
entertainment.
having no idea who they even were, and it was someone called Lord something.
Yeah, we had
Lord
Lord
Humongous.
we had Lord Humongous there.
Yes.
I mean, I know other like
It was
burlesque type
cosplaying,
performers. Yeah, we had singers. We had the guy playing the guitar and
Yeah.
singing, the black guy. And then, I mean, we had all sorts of stuff. We had raffles. It was decorations. These events that you attend, these political things, again, it's just a little like,
It's
okay,
fun.
so-and-so E-celeb speaks. Like, you didn't even have a theme. You didn't have decorations. You didn't have entertainers. You didn't have drinks.
You know why?
No,
Because
yeah.
It's all about raising money. It's all
Right.
about the fundraising.
Right.
It has nothing to do with the party itself. It's about getting those high dollar donors in the same room.
Right.
And how do we get them there? We get them there by coming to see this attraction.
Yeah, and the
And
less
then
money you
no
spend,
effects.
the more money you take home. So no decorations, no extra budgets on it. And that's the thing with that party. We, it's not like, oh, we're doing an event, let's like make money like doing an event. It was like I spent a lot of money on, getting those things printed, laminated, like buying things. We got little decorations going on. I even had bowls, like little bowls like on the bar everywhere that had like little like red Mike and Ike candy type things in it, and then I put like a sign that said red pills on it.
Yeah.
Like it
I
was
saw that.
themed. We had a photo booth area that was a brick wall. It was the wall. Get it? The wall.
It was great for Trump. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we had like signs that were like WikiLeaks, and it was like signs to go to the bathroom. We had like
you take a wiki.
Yep.
yeah, take a WikiLeak. And, like we had,
Oh, we had Hillary Clinton toilet.
we had Hillary Clinton toilet paper. Like
Yeah.
I am telling you, this was. We got to
know,
do
yeah.
events. We have to do like more events. But yeah, I saw that and I
You
got
know what it
excited,
is?
Gene.
We come from a generation where it wasn't about the party. It was about
Right.
the pregame and the after party.
Right.
I think we need more after parties
Yes.
in the Republican Party.
Yes.
That's what we need.
And that's what I'm saying. If people want to like do their whole like, okay, whatever E-celeb is doing a speech thing, fine. But where's the after party at? Like,
Mhm.
wait, who is putting on any events? No one. And if you can't do
that's
it,
what-
hello, I'm here. I'm an expert at doing it. Let's go.
And that's what the CPAC parties that we threw where I met Jack were all about. It
Right.
was about conference is over, enough of the bullshit, let's just have fun.
Yep. Yep.
And that's
Yep.
what life should be about, no matter what you're doing. You know?
Exactly. Well, speaking of, we just hit exactly 2 hours. So look
Oh,
at that.
really?
Isn't that
Wow.
wild?
It flew
Um,
by.
I don't know. Is there anything else that you want to kind of say about the book?
I mean,
or-
other than thank you, this was fucking amazing.
Awesome.
Not really. Listen, I want to, for everybody that was listening and putting up with me, thank you so much for hanging in there this whole time. Thank you for everybody who backed the campaign. If you still want to do it, the link will be up, I'm sure, once the video is up after the live stream.
Yes. Yeah.
And feel free to back the campaign. The book is Schnooks, Crooks, Liars, and Scoundrels, a field guide to identifying political buffoons. And this whole experience of doing this is totally humbling. To have friends like you, Martina, and Jack, to be able to, kind of prop me up on your shoulders and do this and say to your people, hey, check this guy out that you never heard of, that you know absolutely nothing about, and give him money. And people actually did that. Amazing.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Absolutely
I think that's what it's all about, because I am really sick of, I call it circle jerking. Sorry for being so crude, but
No,
that's kind of
please
what
be crude.
everybody does, and I'm really sick of it. It's there's a lot of really talented, really amazing people out there, and I just want to kind of bring those people to light. And I think I wouldn't have you on. I wouldn't have asked you on. Like, I asked for you to come on because I was
Yeah.
like, we watched the video, Jack and I watched the video together, and we said, God, he is so good. He really needs to, like, I really want to make sure that this video gets seen, and that people kind of know what's going on with you and what's up. So it's my pleasure.
That is so sweet. Thank you guys so much. It's I don't take compliments well. I know this about myself, but wow, it's so sweet. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
All right, bye guys. I'll stream again soon. I mean, wait, what's today? Today's Wednesday, right? Let's do. Maybe I'll do an art history and etiquette stream this week. So we'll sort
Great.
that out.
I'll tune in for that. I'll be in the audience for that one.
Sounds good. All right.
Picking on
Bye,
you a little
guys.
bit, maybe.